The Philippines, a nation of over 7,600 islands, is defined by its sprawling geography, a blessing and a curse. With more than 36,000 kilometers of coastline, the country is nearly impossible to police in its entirety. Hidden coves, remote beaches, and countless unguarded entry points make it a smuggler's paradise. For every official port, there are 1,000 ways in, far from the eyes of law enforcement. Once ashore, the rugged interior, dense jungles, mountains, and isolated villages offers perfect cover for traffickers. Smugglers exploit ancient trails and local knowledge, turning the landscape into a network of secret routes and hideouts. Traditional policing methods simply can't keep up with the scale and complexity of the terrain. The police are stretched thin, designed for cities, not for patrolling jungles or intercepting boats at sea. Smugglers are agile, adapting to every gap in surveillance and every forgotten path. The government faces a relentless cat-and-mouse game across a fragmented, porous nation. Drug syndicates only need to succeed occasionally to profit, while authorities must be vigilant everywhere, all the time. This imbalance, rooted in geography, turns the drug war into a national security crisis. The challenge is not just law enforcement, it's defending the nation's borders and sovereignty. The war on drugs in the Philippines is a battle against the very nature of the archipelago itself. Only a comprehensive, robust response can hope to match the scale of the threat. In most countries, drug enforcement is a police job. In the Philippines, it's a war. The drug trade has evolved into a paramilitary threat, well-funded, heavily armed, and highly organized. Syndicates use advanced technology, high-speed boats, and even aircraft, overwhelming local police. The Philippine National Police are stretched thin, tasked with everything from traffic to counterinsurgency. Expecting them to also secure thousands of kilometers of coastline and jungle is impossible. The armed forces of the Philippines are trained for these environments: long-range jungle patrols, maritime interdiction, and aerial surveillance. The military's involvement isn't a choice, it's a necessity. Drug money funds insurgent and terrorist groups, creating a toxic alliance that threatens national stability. The convergence of crime and insurgency turns the drug problem into a direct threat to sovereignty. The military is uniquely positioned to confront this hybrid threat. The war on drugs is a low-intensity conflict fought on multiple fronts. Police handle street-level enforcement, but dismantling syndicates requires the full weight of the state's security apparatus. The military brings the discipline, reach, and operational depth the police alone cannot provide. Their involvement is indispensable to any real solution. The seas around the Philippines are the main highways for drug smugglers. Large motherships wait in international waters, carrying tons of methamphetamine. Under cover of darkness, they rendezvous with smaller, faster boats, often disguised as fishing vessels. Ship-to-ship transfers happen in minutes, making interception nearly impossible. Smugglers use their knowledge of local waters to evade patrols, blending in with legitimate fishermen. Drugs are hidden in waterproof containers, sometimes stashed in floating caches for later pickup. Sophisticated operations use satellite phones, encrypted apps, and shore lookouts to coordinate and avoid authorities. Some even deploy submersible vessels, staying one step ahead of detection. Once ashore, onshore teams quickly move the cargo inland via vans, trucks, or motorcycles. The entire operation is a seamless logistical chain, from mothership to city streets. Breaking this chain requires intelligence on every link, not just patrolling the seas. Smugglers are diversifying, using land and air to move drugs. Light aircraft fly low to avoid radar, dropping packages in remote fields or highways without ever landing. Drones, now cheap and powerful, deliver small but valuable loads across borders and into prisons, bypassing ground security. On land, traffickers exploit jungle trails and mountain passes, using local guides and even pack animals to move drugs undetected. These routes are nearly impossible to patrol without deep local intelligence. Smugglers communicate via encrypted apps and online gaming chats, constantly changing codes to evade interception. The digital fog of war is as challenging as the physical one. Authorities must patrol both the real and virtual worlds to dismantle these networks. The battle is fought on jungle trails, in the skies, and across encrypted cyberspace. The armed forces of the Philippines have launched a coordinated, multi-branch counteroffensive. The army conducts jungle patrols, dismantling drug labs and intercepting couriers on remote trails. The Navy and Marines patrol territorial waters, interdicting smuggling boats and raiding coastal landing sites. The Air Force provides surveillance, using helicopters and drones to spot suspicious activity and support ground operations. Success depends on joint operations, Army, Navy, and Air Force working together, sharing intelligence in real time. The AFP also partners with the police, Coast Guard, and drug enforcement agencies. For example, a drone spots a suspicious boat, relays coordinates to a Navy vessel, which interdicts with Coast Guard support. This integrated approach creates a seamless security network. Teamwork and information sharing are essential to closing the gaps smugglers exploit. The fight is relentless, requiring constant adaptation and coordination. Only a united front can hope to stem the tide. Technology is now as vital as manpower in the fight against drug smuggling. Military-grade drones provide persistent, high-altitude surveillance, tracking targets without alerting them. Satellite imagery offers a big-picture view, revealing hidden airstrips or suspicious changes in remote areas. Coastal radar stations and advanced naval radars detect even small, fast boats in rough seas. Night vision and thermal imaging strip away the cover of darkness, spotting heat signatures from engines or people. These tools create a multi-layered surveillance network. Satellites tip off drones, which guide ships or ground teams to intercept. The fusion of technologies allows the military to see further, react faster, and operate in all conditions. It's a technological arms race, with the military constantly adapting to stay ahead of resourceful syndicates. Every new tool is a step toward closing the gaps traffickers exploit. The goal: persistent, seamless surveillance across land, sea, and air. Technology is the force multiplier in this modern war. The war on drugs is increasingly fought in cyberspace. Smugglers rely on encrypted apps, dark web forums, and covert online channels to coordinate. Military cyber units intercept and decrypt these communications, piecing together coded messages and GPS data to map out networks. Smugglers use the latest encryption, constantly changing devices and codes to stay ahead. Cyber experts combine technical skill with traditional intelligence, sometimes targeting a single device to unlock an entire network. Social media intelligence is surprisingly valuable. Careless posts by lower-level members can reveal locations or associates. Analysts sift through digital clues, assembling the puzzle of smuggling operations. The goal is to move from reacting to predicting, knowing about a shipment before it happens. By monitoring communications, authorities can position forces for timely interceptions. The digital front is now as critical as the physical one. The future of the drug war will be shaped by artificial intelligence and autonomous systems. AI can analyze massive data streams from drones, satellites, and cyber monitoring, flagging suspicious activity in real time. Autonomous boats and drone swarms will patrol seas and coastlines, tracking targets and alerting human operators for interception. This frees up personnel for critical tasks and creates a persistent surveillance net. International cooperation will deepen, with real-time data sharing and joint patrols closing gaps in international waters. No single country can defeat transnational syndicates alone. Technology must be paired with community engagement. Secure reporting apps will empower locals to anonymously tip off authorities. Fishermen and farmers can become the military's eyes and ears on the ground. Building trust and safe communication channels will make communities an integral part of the security network. The future is high-tech, but also deeply human. The campaign against drug smuggling is a war of wits, not just force. Smugglers adapt to every new tactic. For every route closed, another opens. The front lines are fluid, digital, maritime, and deep in the jungle. Success depends on integrating technology, intelligence, and community resilience. The goal is not just to intercept drugs, but to build a nation resistant to the corrosive influence of the trade. This means strengthening institutions, fostering partnerships, and empowering local communities. It's a long-term battle, demanding patience and constant innovation. Victory is measured not by the absence of smuggling, but by a society too resilient for syndicates to exploit. The Philippine military has evolved into a multi-domain force, skilled in everything from jungle warfare to cyber intelligence. The war on drugs is a marathon, demanding intelligence, resolve, and unity.